Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. It's good to see you all. Sorry about the delay. My name's Birdie. I'm an events manager here at Moralis, and I'm helping with the Avalanche Hackathon. So for today's session, we have Jen. He's going to be doing a workshop on Avalanche Mobile with React. So I'll let Jen take it away.
Yep. Hi, everyone. So I'm Genesis, and this workshop will talk about how you can create your own mobile app in Avalanche using Moralis and React Native. So as you can see here on my screen, can you see my app here? So as you can see, we do have a crypto memes app. So maybe I can just show it to you first. So here's the dapp that we've created together with Avalanche and React Native. So as you can see, it says crypto meme. So what this app basically does is when you try to click here on plus, so it looks like 9gag actually. Photo from your gallery. You can upload some photos. So let's say I'm going to upload this Marvel photo here. All right. And then when I try to click on the text input and I try to put some meme title here. Yeah. And then I click on post. It's going to load.
Jan, it seems that the mirroring of the device interrupted. Do you have like physical device or we can reconnect? So yeah, hey guys, I'm here as well.
Yeah.
Ivan from Moralis. Some connection issue with the mirroring, and yeah, so Jen will show basically how to log in React Native to a dapp, how you can build your own React Native dapp where you can have a crypto login with MetaMask or Wallet Connect, and then user can log in and they can add images in like this, image feed, and it is running as a native app. It's not some kind of hybrid, HTML, some wrapper app. It's native app. So yeah, Jen, please continue.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for the disconnection. So here you can see that when I try to upload, let's say an image or a meme, it's going to be showing here in the dashboard here. So once you try to upload the image, your balance should increase here, since this crypto meme dapp will let you earn when you try to post memes. So if you're familiar with Kcoin as well, it does the same thing. So we can see here that we do have here a couple of buttons at the bottom. We do have here upvote, downvote, messages, share, but as of the moment, it's not working. So I can share this source code here with you as well, so you can play around maybe if you're interested to work on this kind of dapp. And when we try to click on balance here, we're gonna be seeing here our AVAX balance that is fetched through the Moralis database. So as of the moment, I don't have any AVAX balance. So that's the gist of the app that we're going to be trying to show you. And well, at the same time, I'm going to try to teach you how to build this later on. So yeah, that's how it looks. So here we do have a couple of memes already uploaded that I've tested. So yeah, as you can see here, yeah. So here's the dapp, and so well, using Moralis, it actually just took me a couple of hours to do this, like maybe 2 to 5 hours, and it cut off my development time to 90%. That's how powerful Moralis is when it comes to building mobile dapps and connecting your dapp to the crypto world, we can say. So yeah, this is this is so easy to do, and maybe I can also share this mobile app with you guys. So yeah, now maybe we can talk about how you can work with Avalanche and with Moralis and React Native. So here's my presentation. So Avalanche and Moralis is now partnering, and well, we have this workshop right now that I really hope that you can learn a lot from us. So so we're still in an era that most people use their mobile phones to conduct daily transactions, and as a result, we should create our first mobile dapp and make Web3 development easier for blockchain developers. And through React Native, we are going to be leveraging the power of Web3 to develop hybrid mobile dapps. So we have some prerequisites before we move on and develop our mobile dapps with React Native. First, we have to install our tools like Xcode. So we should be installing our develop iOS apps. If we're planning to build our apps, we should be installing our Android Studio application on our machine. So we should also install Yarn for our packages, and we should also look into the React Native documentation that we have on the web. So that we will be having our guidelines on how to effectively use React Native as our hybrid mobile dapp development environment. So yeah. So here's the docs. You can see here the link for the docs. I'm going to be sharing these docs to you on. All right, it's just redirected. All right, so talking about hybrid mobile dapp development. So it will actually make our development easier and cut our development time to really a large amount of time, since hybrid mobile development will allow us to create both iOS and Android apps with just one code base. So the benefits of doing hybrid mobile development with your dapps is, well, in a short period of time, you can create your enterprise level mobile dapps, and JavaScript developers would find it simple to learn. There's only one code base for iOS and Android, and the React Moralis package for web works seamlessly with React Native with no differences in syntax. So as you can see, all of the Moralis function will also work with React Native, with our React Native code base. By the way, guys, we also have our React Native boilerplate here. Maybe you want to check. Yeah, I'm gonna share it real quick. So here's what we already have, and this is available already for everyone to clone. So as you can see, we do have here the Ethereum React Native boilerplates. So here you can easily just clone this repository and then create your own mobile dapps, derive your own mobile dapps with this code base. And I'll tell you, this will make your lives easier for you to be able to launch your idea, your mobile dapps idea in the market as soon as possible. This link here, we're gonna sharing this link as well. So yeah, that's how I actually started using this boilerplate to create this crypto meme app here that you can see. So I just cloned that repo and then derived from that repository, since that code base already has the React Moralis plugins and React Moralis functionalities. So it is well ready for you to be able to create your own mobile dapps in no time. But also, well, we do have some learning curves for development of React Native. So if you're not into hybrid development yet, you really find it at some point difficult to launch your first app, to run your first app. But I can tell you that once everything is set up and you just read the documentations from React Native and also with Moralis, you can easily create your own mobile dapps. So yeah, so one of the learning curves, yeah, learning the fundamentals of iOS and Android development tools, including Xcode and Android. It won't be really easy. And there are also some bugs that needs to be addressed, since this technology is still young, and there's still a lot of changes that has to be made for this code base, and this technology will be much better in the future. So yeah, well, that's some of the knowledge takeaways that we should always think about when we try to create our projects, especially with our mobile dapps, is to get to know more about our technology. And all of our resources are available online. You can find it online. You can find it in forums. You can find it in YouTube. You just have to go to YouTube Moralis channel, and then you'll find every resource that you can find with the blockchain technology, and with Moralis and with React Native as well. We do have tons of resources that you can find in the YouTube channel. So please also subscribe to our channel for you to learn more about how you can do your dapps in no time. So yeah, going back to our dapp here, to our crypto meme dapp. Yeah, maybe I can just share my crypto meme dapp right now. Okay, share. All right, so here in the dapp, you can see here some of the features in Moralis that I've used for me to be able to derive in this kind of dapp idea. As you can see here, I'm showing here my name and then my ETH address, and then I'm also showing here my balance. So we do actually have a couple of functions that we did for us to be able to make this app working like what you can see here. So I can actually share my my screen here in my code. All right, so yeah, I hope you can see my all right, so if you can see here my code here. So here is here's the source code for this screen here. So I just called this meme screen. So as you can see, we do have here header, which says crypto meme, and then we do have here our balance, which is this one here, and we also have here the image. So I've created here two flat lists. The first flat list is the flat list that is responsible for this these tabs here. So as of the moment, it's not doing anything. But you can try to swipe it left and right. You can see some elements, and then this flat list element here is actually rendering each of these elements.
So Jen, can you bring up the screen in the foreground, because now
Yep.
the phone screen is a bit background. So that's very interesting what you showed now with the header and the flat list. But tell us how you started this. Did you use the Boilerplate to start it, and people can go to Ethereum React Native Boilerplate and download this, or how did you get this going?
Yeah. So first, I just went here to our boilerplate here. So I just cloned this repository by doing this, then copying and then cloning. And then after I clone this repository, I just started here to create a folder called memes. So we do have here all the folders that is already made available by the boilerplate, and then I just started to create each of these files that corresponds for the meme, the upload mobile,
So in
upload
the
model and wallet.
boilerplate, if you go back to that GitHub, you see, guys, we have this standard app. If you scroll down to the GIF, in the standard app, you can log in, you can see your balances, you can see your NFTs. And in the code base, if we go back to the code base, each of these different tabs, components, it has its own folder.
Yeah.
So what Jen did here is that he wanted to create new functionality, so he created his own folder called memes. And this is how you also would do it. When you want some new functionality, maybe a new tab, you create a new folder called whatever. In this case, it is memes. And what kind of important files you have here? I see you have memes.js, upload model, wallet. How do they look like, and how do we plug this into the tab bar? Because let's say somebody wants like a tab, or in this case you just remove the tab bar. So please show us how this is connected to like the main like menu. Where is the main menu also?
Yeah, so we can go here in the app.tsx file. So here you can see that well, we do have here a home component. So as you can see here, we do have a function that is the navigation container. So this navigation container is wrapping all of these screens. So it says stack that screen, and it represents for the screen that you wanted to show. So for this one, after we log in, this is the screen is actually the login screen that we can see here, which is this one. So it corresponds for this login screen, this auth page here. So after you log in, you're going to be redirected here to home screen. So how it happened is here, if we go here to the crypto auth page here. All right. So in the crypto auth page, once we are authenticated, so this authenticated item here is already made available by Moralis by calling this use Moralis function here. By importing this one, we can now check if the user is authenticated or not. So when we say if the user is authenticated, we're going to be navigating the user to the home screen. And the home screen right now, if we go back to app.tsx, so the home screen is actually redirecting us to the meme page here.
Perfect. So that's how you guys practically start. You download the boilerplate, you go to app.typescript tsx, and there you can see the menu and how it is structured. You can add your own screens. You can define your own screens, but then you need to connect them to the code that represents those screens. So in this case, this meme, it is the meme component, and that's defined in that memes.tsx file, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
So yeah, so here in this meme, so that they can see. So if we go here, so this meme component here is actually this. So it says components/memes and then memes. So it corresponds to this folder here, going to memes folder and to this meme file. So that's how you guys can start creating your own folders and your own screens.
And each such component, it has some standard functions, right? If you scroll up, you have so basically you have all the imports. So you import a bunch of stuff at the top. Then you scroll down, you have some definition here, but then you have render, right? That you need to define. So please talk to us about, in React Native, if I want to define a new component, what kind of functions do I need to implement? Like for all, like use effect, I see in all, or render. So what kind of are the standard functions in each component in React Native?
Yeah. So when creating components, all you have to do here. So let's say we want to create a component. So we just declare the variable here. So let's say test component like this. All you have to do is to declare it like a variable. So if you're familiar already with ES6, you're already familiar with how this actually works. So let's say view, and then let's put text, and then inside text is a test. So I think we should change this to return. All right. So let's say we want to render this component here. Here at top. Okay, we can just call it like this. Yeah. Okay. So the test component. So let's put some colors here. So let's put some style. So let's say color, we put red. So you should see the test.
Yes, we see it. We see it.
Font size, yeah, 25, 24. So that's how you can call a basic component. But here, if you wanted to call some functions, let's say Moralis functions here. So all you have to do is import use Moralis from React Moralis. Like what I've told you earlier, you can easily access all of React Moralis functions inside this React Native code base as well. So maybe we can talk about some of the functions here. Let's say getting all memes. That maybe we can relate how we actually fetch these memes. So here we do have get all meme function. So we create a use effect here. So basically, when you declare a use effect, you just saying whenever a component loads, you should be loading all of the functions that you put inside the use effect. So on first load, we're going to be getting this function here, which says get all meme. And then here we are running a Moralis cloud function, which is get all memes. So this function just get all memes from our database. Maybe I can also share this to you. So okay. Dashboard. All right, here. And maybe you can, so all right, so here you can see all of the posts. So these are all the posts that we have in this dapp here. And then so just gonna log in, and then I'm gonna show you the cloud function that we use to get all the memes. Okay, so sorry. So all you have to do is go here, log in, and then see all of your dapp server here. And then if you already have cloud functions, all you have to do is click this cloud functions button at the bottom. So here we do have a get all memes function. So what I'm trying to do is I'm getting all the posts through Moralis.query function and storing it to query. So we're getting all of these posts, storing it in the query, and then we're also getting all the user, and then basically we also store all the user here, and then we try to map here the result of all the posts, and then here we are just comparing if the user ID is equals to the user that created the meme here. So it says data.attributes that created by. So you can also see that here. So here we do have a column that is called created by ID. So if this condition is met, we're going to be returning all of these items inside a new object that is called memes. So if we close it, then here, so we store all the results here in the post, and then here we do have a set meme function and the meme state. So we just what this actually does is setting all of the state of the posts to the meme state. And here in the meme state, let's see here. Okay, so here in the meme state, okay, all right. So all of those posts that you saw earlier, we're gonna be populating this flat list with all the memes, and we're going to be rendering those memes here in the render memes function. So all the data will be mapped here through this component here for rendering all the memes. So as you can see, we do have here an image element here that will render the blocky here, which is the blocky here you can see in the screen. Yeah, so you can see my screen. So we do see here the blocky, and then beside the blocky is actually my name, which as of the moment I just hard coded this, but you can definitely also get the name of the user from the table. And then here I just populated by ETH address, which is this one here, as you can see, the 0xab9 ... and then all of the addresses. And then here you can also see here the caption that we put whenever we upload here some memes and some images. And then here are some of the buttons at the bottom. So it says just 200, 200, 200. So some of these are hard coded, but you can definitely work on your own and try to also populate all of these hard coded values here whenever you wanted to display the data in real time.
Yeah, and so that's a good challenge for you guys if you want to continue, how to add real likes and real comments to this. And by the way, have we uploaded this yet, John, to GitHub or not yet? This
No,
project?
not yet. We can upload this definitely.
We'll do it after the live stream. But yeah, so up until now, we've shown how to create new components like the test component at the top. We've shown how the data is fetched from the cloud function and how it is rendered on the screen. So I think that was very important. And how do you upload? So what is the upload process? Let's show that again, by the way, because I think that the connection was bad when you showed it in the beginning. But not only can you read posts, you can also upload posts here.
Yes. So, all right, maybe we can click this plus button, and then we're going to be showing a model here. And this is the component that we use to do the upload module here. So here in the upload model file, so we can see here some of Moralis cloud functions, or some functions that we can use to upload, like save IPFS here. So if we try to let's say go on typing here our text, so let's try to test upload. So we say test upload. All right, and then we select from gallery. Right, so we say we put this image here of a dog, and then we post this. So it's gonna load, and then after it posted, it should be uploaded here at top. After it actually loaded in real time. It just had some delays.
Fantastic.
So maybe
So now we created a new post, and there, if you show the code, basically number one is that the image is saved to IPFS. There you can see it on the screen on line 37. And then once we know the IPFS URL, which is after this, we can now run the save function and save basically who created it, the caption, and the URL. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's important to also clarify that the image is on IPFS, and like the captions and all of that, that's in the Moralis database. And it's up to you if you also want to put it on IPFS. You could do that also, because do you have the docs up here, Jan? Because if you go to our docs, you can both put image but also JSON on IPFS. So if we go and we load and you go to IPFS, so that's also one variation you could do. If you want to show both things from IPFS, also possible. So if you go to there and you scroll down, you see you can save files, but you can also save objects.
Yes.
So that's how it is. So, and in many cases, you have to choose yourself how decentralized you want it. I mean, you can put everything on IPFS, or you can put some things on IPFS and some things in the database. It all depends, the privacy level you want. On IPFS, everything is public, so it's up to you how you want to do it. But we provide all options depending on how centralized, decentralized you want it. And many apps, they need some mixture, because let's say you have email address of a user. Will you put it on IPFS? You will not put it on IPFS. But something like metadata or some kind of post or something, that you put on IPFS. So perfect, Jen. Thanks for showing the upload process. And it is. I think if you guys are watching this and you're new to React Native, it may seem intimidating, but this is basically like two functions. One function to upload, very simple, like we just showed. One function to download, which was also simple in the meme component in the use effect, right? Where you download, like get all. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is download. And then for you, if you're new to React Native, you just need to understand the flow. Okay, I have a JSON object, like for example, with all the memes. How do I make a list out of this? And it's standard across all React Native apps that you need to do. So let's maybe walk through that again. So basically, you have this function called set memes there. So you fetch all the memes, and now you want to show them in a list. So you have set memes. And so basically that function, let's go and see that, how that looks like in this set memes.
This one.
Where do we have the list building? When we download all memes, where do we actually build the list? Set memes, this one.
Yes. And then we go here to the flat list here.
So basically, React Native works in a way where you don't have to, loop through. Like there's no for each meme, like show the list. You just give the full array, like we see here, data equal to memes. You just give it to React Native, and then you just need to give a function how it should render each meme. And this is what we see there with render item, right? That you have a render memes and then render item, and here you provide a function how each meme should be rendered, correct?
Yes.
And here is a combination of a view, image. Like if you know HTML, it is familiar to you what you're seeing, but it's not the normal HTML tags. Here you have, for example, view tag, which is kind of like a div, right? So div in web, view in React Native is kind of like a div. You can put whatever you want in it. Then you have image. So image is the native component across iOS and Android for showing native images. Then what else we have here? Like touchable opacity. So that's another interesting component that you guys should learn. Basically, if you want to look for clicks, you can do touchable opacity component. And where do you define the handler of the click? So it's touchable, or it's not a clickable thing, or what is touchable? Maybe you can define it better, John. Touchable opacity.
Yeah. Well, basically, since we don't use a button like we do in HTML, so touchable opacity is just you can think of it like a button in React Native, and then once you wanted to create an event handler like for pressing, you just declare on press here like this, and then some functions here.
Yep. So if you want to do a button or like some on-click event, then you would use something like touchable opacity, and you would style it somehow. You would like give it a style. But the base component in React Native for something that can respond to touches is touchable opacity. Yeah, makes sense. What else we have here? For example, font awesome icon is some kind of component that you imported, I guess, for these different icons, right?
Yes. Yeah, so all you have to do is just import this font awesome icon here, and then we can just call all of these icons here that is available in the Font Awesome website. And then we just put it here in the icon, and then it will show it in the screen like this wallet here. So if I click here, so it's going to be showing the wallet.
Perfect. So we've shown how to download memes, how to upload memes, how they are rendered on the screen. And of course, to truly understand this, guys, you have to tinker yourself with React Native and get into it. Let's go and look how login works on the login screen. Is it in Authenticator somewhere? If we go to that code.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Crypto auth, yeah. So here we have the login screen, which let's see. Can we log out from the app on the screen so we can show people also in real time?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's try to log out first. So as of the moment, we don't have a logout button. So whenever we try to refresh our bundler, it's going to auto log out.
Yeah.
And will redirect us to the login screen. Yeah.
So this is the screen you see when you open the app, and this is what we see on the screen. And you have here the crypto wallet login. Is that touchable opacity also that we have styled?
Okay, let me see. Yeah. It is also touchable opacity.
You see on the screen we have crypto wallet login. It's touchable opacity. When we click on it, you see on press event, and there it is crypto. So let's check how that works. So now we're going through the basic components of the boilerplate. For example, crypto login. All apps need crypto login. So we're going through how it is built so you can understand it. And here basically we have just normal Moralis authenticate. And then we pass in connector. So this is basically in case someone wants wallet connect or not wallet connect, right? MetaMask or wallet connect, or what is connector in this case?
Well, this is actually this connector here is using use wallet connect library from wallet connect. So it's calling a function here to pass in the authenticate, and whenever this returns true, this function here will run.
Yeah.
So if
So if you are authenticated, or if you try to authenticate and there's some error, we show the errors, and if not, we go to home.
Yes.
So let's see how that looks like. So if you click crypto wallet login, this function handle crypto wallet login will run. And then wallet connect shows up, and we choose the wallet. In this case,
MetaMask. All right. So. All right. So after we click on MetaMask, we're prompted to connect to the app with Wallet Connect. So when we click on, maybe we can try to just try to cancel this. So if you cancel it, it's going to be showing here an error that you've rejected it. And then when you go here, it's not going to log in. So if we try to click this and then we try to cancel, there should be an error showing up, but it doesn't seem to show here.
Live demo always. That's homework for you guys also, how to make the error work. But anyway, so if you log in successfully, it takes you to the home screen. If not, it should show an error. It's not showing now, but you can fix that if you want, and submit a merge request to us. We will merge it. And the good thing with Wallet Connect is that you can use any wallet. I mean, that's the best thing with you as a developer. You don't need to care about which wallet your user uses, because all wallets work, and all wallets that are supported by Wallet Connect will be supported as well. And I also saw a question in the chat about why use React. Well, React, it speeds up everything. Nobody's really using vanilla JavaScript in any web development today. Maybe just for learning, but if you are doing something serious, it's not really used. You use React or Vue or Angular for production ready. Sony, you guys are doing a great job with Moralis. Keep it up. I'll be using it next week for a build on my channel. You have a YouTube channel, Sonia? That's nice. Send us in Discord the videos. We will share them. Flutter. So after React Native is stable, we will move on to Flutter. In React Native, we still want to make it more stable so it works even better. And then, of course, we're gonna do Flutter and others. So Jen, what else should we show in terms of this boilerplate? I think you guys can ask questions. I mean, of course, to ask questions, you need to know a bit about React Native and how it works, but we're happy to take questions now. And at the end of the day, I think the message here is that it's not super complicated. I mean, it's a bit learning curve for you to learn how it works and just get into it. But once you see how easy it is to download memes, show memes, it's not difficult. I see a question from Luca. How do you debug in React Native mobile? Can you use console log?
Yeah. Well, here in the bundler, if you actually try to console anything here, you can actually see it here in the debugger. So if you try to maybe say try to console log this one here. Yeah, so let's say, yeah, it's indicated. Right, so after it renders, yeah, as you can see.
By the way, guys, we have a celebrity. This Sony guy, he's big on YouTube. Damn. Big congrats to your 100K subs. I see Sony. Let me share on the screen. Yeah, man, it's a big channel watching us. So Sony, have you done anything in Web3 yet? We need to do some collaboration. Let me share. Go, everyone who's watching this, go subscribe to Sony. Very nice. So this guy has a class. Yeah. So I mean, you're watching this, you know everything about React. It seems like. This is Sonia. You're our role model. We want our channel to be like your channel. 5-day challenge, recreating Airbnb. Nice. Big shout out. Big shout out. Very nice. Sorry, Jen. So we were looking at the debugging. So you added some console log.
Yes. So let's say here in the crypto login screen, so we want to check if the user is logged in or not. So we just console log it here. Since this authenticated item here is already made available to the whole component, you can just call it anywhere. And then when you try to log it here, you can see if now the user is authenticated or not. But you can also use other debugging tools such as Flipper. I've heard of Flipper. You have used it a couple of times. And also the classic debugger for the local host. You can always use it. But as of the moment, I'm really looking into trying to use all of my resources in my terminal. So this is how I debug as of the moment. But you can definitely use all of your debugging tools that you preferred.
And by the way, Sonia, so exactly, so Moralis is kind of like Firebase for crypto. You can think like that for sure. So and to debug, you just write console log. It works very nice, and then you look in your bundler. John NFT Mall says, does Wallet Connect support Avalanche? So Wallet Connect supports Avalanche, yes, because Avalanche is EVM. And so if MetaMask can log you into Avalanche, so can Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect is just a bridge between wallet and chain. So yeah, I think it should work. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something, but in my mind, it's just a connection. So yeah, 100% it works. It should be no issues. Is this running on Android? Yeah, so this is running on Android. You can make it work on iOS if you have the iOS tools installed. You just write yarn iOS and it works. And right now we're gonna restructure a bit the boilerplate, right, John? We're removing Expo because Expo that doesn't work for us really.
Yep.
Perfect. Let's see more if we have more questions. That about console log was good. About why using React. So this will be saved as a video, Dino. Exactly. Someone else said, Tijan, I think, had a question that when he runs, he gets this that you should initialize parse before using parse. So for the database, Moralis is based on open source parse library. So that's why you get this message about parse. But basically, it means that you can just replace parse with Moralis in all error messages. So you need to call Moralis.initialize before using Moralis. So in this case, what do you think happened, Jen? He forgot to put that Moralis provider, or what do you think could have happened?
Yeah, that's actually the first thing I've encountered when I tried to develop Moralis. Well, I just figured out that I just forgot to put my app ID in the server URL that you can definitely see here. So, well, you can see the details here. So here's the server URL and the application ID. You just have to copy both of these and then paste it here accordingly. So paste your app ID here and then the server URL here. Or for best practices, you have to save it here inside the env variable here. So all you have to do is change the .env file and then paste the app ID here in the server URL, and then it will be already available to be used if you're just gonna put it, put all these variables here, here in the app ID in the server URL. So it should work the same.
Yeah, perfect. Question from Sonny. The database that I use with Moralis, can you answer, is this decentralized still? Question as many who dive in may think it's a hybrid of Web3 plus centralized. So the database with Moralis is used for your off-chain data. So for example, if you want to fetch all the events that happen on chain in your NFT marketplace or in your coin or in something else, you can set up sync events in Moralis, and they will populate your Moralis database with those events. And that's off-chain. It's not on-chain. It's off-chain. The same thing is if you want to store data that is, for example, personal data, email, something else about the user that should not be public, then you store it in Moralis database. Moralis database, you can think of it as Firebase. I mean, it has nothing to do with decentralizing that storage in Moralis database. That being said, we will add plugins so that if you want, you can put a specific class in a decentralized manner. Whether it will be on IPFS or on-chain, we're still doing research what's going to be the best. But there are good, if you want something like that is like MongoDB but decentralized, check out OrbitDB, for example. It is kind of like document store on IPFS, but this is not the use case for Moralis database. But Moralis database is more your off-chain storage for the different things that you need in your app. For example, all the events that you sync from on-chain, you get it there. All your user balances, when the user logs in, Moralis fetches all the user balances, puts instantly in your Moralis database, and keeps it up to date when users move their funds. So the use case for Moralis database is to fetch all of the data from the blockchain and serve it to you on a silver plate, and for you also to store some off-chain data that you need about the users. But we have gotten requests how to also put a specific class and decentralize it. And that's we're gonna do either through OrbitDB or just through a simple IPFS export. That would be the easiest. So that's coming as a plugin. I mean, one thing, guys, you should know is if you go to moralis.io/plugins, let me show it to you. We're very heavy on integrations. So whatever idea you may have, soon you can build it yourself, which is what I'm personally most excited about. Let's say you have an idea for how you want Moralis to behave in different situations. You can soon go here and you can create your own plugin. It may be that you have a specific table that you always want to decentralize somehow, or encrypt and put on IPFS or something else. So that's why, in a way, you can also think about Moralis as WordPress, meaning that it's plugin ecosystem, and a lot of functionality can be you can get via plugins. So that's going to be important for us. What else? Thanks, Sonia. What type of database is Moralis off-chain? So right now it is Mongo, and soon we're adding SQL. So Mongo, the good thing with Mongo is that it's so easy for new developers. You get started, you can start creating columns, and you can start creating all kinds of structure, and you can change structure when you want. So it is very, it's very easy to get started. The problem with Mongo is if you want to have relations, a lot of these things on chain, they're relational. You have, for example, an on-chain event, and then you need to join it with the users, and maybe you need to join it with something else. And that's where it's possible now as well with aggregate pipeline. We have it in our docs, but it's going to be way faster when we also have SQL version. So we're working on that right now because it's very important. We want to have fast joins and all of that. So that's coming soon. And we will have both options. But in most cases, I think SQL will be the option for most people because, most cases they are relational. But right now it is Mongo, so everyone can get started very, very quickly. The problem with SQL is if you change your mind, you want to change your data structure, it's not as easy as with Mongo. Mongo, you do what you want. So yeah, hope that makes sense. I see Moralis has Angular boilerplate. Can I initialize Ionic? I guess you can. We're not really focusing a lot on Ionic. We're leaving it to the community because Ionic is great. It's great, but we're focusing on more of the native side with React Native, which is almost native. I mean, React Native, it's as as maybe as close as you can get to native without it being native, without it being that you need to have like two totally separate. Flutter is also, of course, like that. Ionic is more that you wrap a web app, and that's not something that we focus on because the community can do it themselves. And in the future, we may do it as well when we feel that it's priority. But right now, we haven't prioritized it yet. But there is an Angular boilerplate, so I guess you can easily repurpose it for Ionic. So yeah, if we see a lot of demand, of course, we will do it. How do I manage app ID? So app ID, it's public information. You don't have to manage it. You put it in, we have an article on that in FAQ. If you go to Moralis docs, let me show it to you go to Moralis docs here, and you go to here. You go to FAQ. We get this question all the time. People are worried about their app ID and server URL. It is not a security risk because it's public information. And here we list different things that people can do with your app ID and server URL. They can sign up as a new user, like with any application. Anyone can try to sign up. You can restrict who can sign up. They can try calling Cloud Functions, but Cloud Functions are endpoints. So in all APIs, anyone can try calling endpoints. So you can restrict who calls what via roles. And they can try to add new classes to the database, but you're restricted with client class creation. And for all production apps, this should be turned off, client class creation. But go here and you can read it in your own pace, at your own pace. So hope that answers. Is Moralis monetizable? It reminds me of decentralized. So yeah, you can do decentralized. Jen did the decentralized chat tutorial. I'm not sure what you mean with monetizable. You can build what you want on top of it. You can build an app, monetize it however you want. This is for you, Jen. Which one is better, React Native CLI or Expo CLI?
Well, I've actually worked with Expo CLI before and with React Native CLI as well. Well, I'm going to be biased, even if I personally have some encounter with some of Expo developers who made the Expo, basically. I'm going to be going with React Native CLI, since React Native CLI will make your app load faster. You don't have to use any Expo dependencies that will make your app bigger in the first place. And, well, it will you will have your full range of creativity with React Native CLI. You don't have to, depend on any other frameworks from Expo for you just to create a simple app.
But most importantly, yeah. Expo doesn't even work for us in the boilerplate. And this whole Web3 React Native movement, it's very young. I mean, it's super young. Yeah. And we based our boilerplate on work of some other developers who've done the basic, they've done God's work, creating the basics. And they also could not get Expo to work, but they still had it in the boilerplate for some reason. So that's why we also have it, because we base our boilerplate on their boilerplate. And we basically discovered that it's not even functional, Expo. So we're now working on removing it fully. because you cannot use it anyway. You can just use yarn iOS for iOS or yarn Android for Android, and so yeah, we will remove it. But it seems very convenient if you are new, or who is the target audience there, Jen? Is it people who are learning, or they want to do it fast?
Yeah, well, if you're relatively new to React Native, Expo will actually give you the fastest route to learning. Since when you try to run Expo, you just I think the command is run Expo from your folder. I think you don't have to npm install or anything, or yarn install anything like that. You just have to run the specific commands from Expo, and then it will automatically build your app for you. Well, you have to have your I think your Xcode installed and your Android Studio installed, but you don't have to work with some configurations from those tools. So if you're starting up, maybe Expo could help you. But if you're planning to create enterprise level applications, well, I'd say go for React Native CLI.
Yeah, makes sense. And for us, we will be React Native CLI in our boilerplate. Some question about Electron. Yeah, you can use it in Electron. Electron is just a JavaScript bundled as desktop, as far as I know. So you can use it for sure. Does React replace the need to code in JavaScript? No, so you code React with JavaScript. You still need HTML. You still need CSS. It's just a bit different. It's not a bit. It's very different way of building actually. But you will get used to. And you have to, it's not even an option. You need to learn React. If you are doing something on the web, you need to learn React, or Vue or Angular. But I can tell you, go with React, because React is the standard. Vue and they're also big, but they're like tier 2 a bit. They're a bit more tier 2. React is tier 1. Like every single project is using React. Like if you know React, you're a web developer that will always be in demand. The same with Vue, and you will always be in demand there as well. But it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit less. Do you have that impression as well, Jan, or how would you say?
Well, what I was actually it's time for me to pick, because I also studied Vue, Angular, React. Well, in terms of the community, well, I'll go for React first of all, because the community is so large. There's a lot of people using it. So that's the first benefit of using React. There's a lot of support out there. Maybe even your coworker that is not a front-end developer may have known React as well and may have already tried it, since it is much easier for me. It's much easier to understand, since, well, React is not actually a framework, or it's not actually a different library, but it's just a framework for JavaScript that runs on ES6. So if you're already familiar with ES6, well, you can just write functions like what you see here, like here. Well, we just declare a function here. Yeah, and then we just call some components here. So just to take note, all the stylings as well and all these codes are running on JSX. So you should check that out. So it's kind of different. The styling here is different, but well, it works the same with how CSS works. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for that. Is there something also for, yeah, we have Vue.js boilerplate. If you go to our docs, you go to boilerplates, you will find Vue.js boilerplate, but it's not for mobile. Maybe you can package it as some kind of Ionic, but Ionic is only Angular. I'm not sure about that. Do you know about Ionic? Is it only Angular, Jan? Or can you package? Okay. So Vue, we're not sure how to do mobile with that, but you can always have web and we have web boilerplate for Vue in Moralis boilerplates. Thanks for presenting, Jen. Greetings from Canada. Nice. How can I master CSS for React Native styling? Well, I think with experience you will master it. How would you say, Jen? Like, what is the difference between CSS for web and CSS for React Native?
So in CSS for web, well, you can use the classic CSS syntax. Like, let's say we wanted to give a font weight, right, to a text. So here we don't say a paragraph or we don't say H1. We just say text here in React Native. So that's also a keynote to take. So whenever we wanted to create some text here or render some text here, we wrap it with this text component. And then for styling, so we have here, if we want to say we want to make the font bold, we just say font weight. As you can see here, it's just in common case. So it doesn't have any dash like that for you to define. It's going to throw you an error if you're going to leave it like that. As you can see here, if you wanted to really master how it actually works in React Native, this is actually not the the best practice, since this is inline. The best practice here is you create here a style sheet like this. So all of your styles should go here. So it will look much cleaner, and then you can you can create another file and export this style sheet, and then you can import it back to your code base here, your file. So I think that's how it.
Yeah, thanks, John. I see a good question about database live updates. So to do it with Moralis, John. So John is asking about how to do live update in the client when database changes. You go here to our docs. You go to database. You go to live query, and you see how easy it is. Basically, you say that you are interested in a class, like here, in a table name, like so, and then you say .subscribe, and that's it. And then the subscription object, it will have whenever someone is creating a new object. When a new object is created in database, you get this callback. When an object is updated, you get this one. So yeah, you don't have to poll anything. It's very easy. Good question. Good question. Let's see. How can I manage an Electron or any desktop app? The wallet part that will be handled by some. So when it comes to wallet, you can use Wallet Connect in Electron, because Electron will not open your MetaMask, but Wallet Connect can show you a QR code that you scan with something like MetaMask, and then it connects. So that's also how we do it on Xbox and PlayStation with our Unity SDK, because of course your Xbox, it cannot open up MetaMask. There's no MetaMask on Xbox, but it can show you QR code that you scan with your wallet, and then your Xbox can log you in. Kind of like with your smart TV, you open up Netflix, they make it simple for you, so you don't have to like sit there with your remote control, try to enter your password and all of the special characters. It takes forever. You scan QR code, you log in in the web on your mobile, and then it knows it. So the same thing with Wallet Connect you can do with crypto login. Let's see. Please tell me how I can master smart contracts to get a job. You can go to Moralis Academy, academy.moralis.io. You'll find everything there about that. Guys, I think that this is it. A lot of good comments. Thanks for guidance. Thank you, guys. That's amazing. Thanks, Gilgamesh. This is amazing. Very good, very good. Let's take this final one. How do I change it to use Avalanche? Well, I guess that you're asking in the boilerplate we have all chains. And to only support Avalanche, you can just remove like all the different calls about other chains. And yeah, that's it basically. I mean, in Moralis, you always specify which chain you want the information from. So if you want Avalanche, you just specify, I want the balances for Avalanche, or I want this only for Avalanche. Or how would you say, John?
Yeah. So, well, first, when creating your database here, when you try to create one, so let's say we create a new server, then we say testnet. So you'll be prompt here which chain you wanted to use first. So if you click on Avalanche or whatever chain you wish to select, after that, so this runs on Avalanche, and then after that here, you can now see some classes here, and a class here that is called AVAX balance. And it will automatically be created for you once you selected Avalanche as an EVM.
It will be created when you log in your first user. That's important to note. So don't wait for it if you don't have any users. When first user comes, that will be created. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect, guys. Gilgamesh says something about Flutter Quick.js. So I'm very interested in Flutter, but I have zero experience in it. So we need to expand the team with someone that is very good in Flutter. But people ask me all the time, when is Flutter coming? And I have no experience in it, but it seems that it's very big and very impactful. So we will have Flutter, of course, as well. And we need to expand the team, or maybe the community can help with that also. If you know someone who is very good in Flutter, and we will not do it like this very second, but I think next year, at the beginning of next year, we will look at Flutter also. But guys, on that note, thanks a lot for coming on. The final question we'll take is this one: when will we have the next live session? And here you go to the Moralis Avalanche Hackathon. So if you go to moralis.io/Avalanche Hackathon, you go here, you scroll down, and you select view and sync calendar. So this will be added to your calendar. And when you do this, all the events will be in real time in your calendar. And so you can see today is December the 9th. So we just did this one. Tomorrow we have some team building. And December 13th, we have the React workshop. And we may also add things in between, because we would love for our sponsors to do some live webinars too. And we're still confirming with them. I know Chainlink will do a live webinar at some point. We still haven't added it. And then actually on December the 20th, Jen will be back with this one, chat application. So it's going to be similar to this, because here we do uploading images, kind of like Instagram. And then we will do, or actually, guys, you don't see my screen. What? No, you don't see my screen. Let me share it. Yes, okay. Quick recap. Number one is the Avalanche Hackathon website. You come here, you scroll down, you see this, you click here. And number two, you see the calendar. The next is going to be here, React workshop. And also we have team building tomorrow. Don't forget that. And on December 20th, Jen will be back with React Native, but we will create a chat app, like a decentralized chat app. And so I think for you guys, you have now 11 days until that webinar. And so in those 11 days, try to poke around with React Native, see if you can get it to work, so you can ask even better questions, and you can get even more help when you actually know a bit, because then you will learn more. So guys, thanks a lot. Glad to be here. Thanks 63 Monty Williams. Any final words, Jen, before we wrap this session up?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to first thank Avalanche for this opportunity for us to share our knowledge in React Native. And I just wanted to remind our viewers right now, if you're not subscribed to Moralis YouTube channel yet, please do subscribe, so you'll be able to tune in to the news and to the updates on the upcoming technologies that we're going to be releasing soon. And don't stop on learning new things, especially creating new technologies around blockchain. And well, you can always derive any other projects from our boilerplates that we've created here for you. So kindly check everything that we already provided you, and keep on supporting Moralis.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Jen. Thanks a lot, guys.